Plane rotation is a term used for plane or coordinate system rotation in 3+2 axis milling operations. In this mode, the active cutting plane, or in other words, active coordinate system, is rotated, and 3+2 axis operation is performed on this newly defined plane. In each 3+2 axis operation, the plane is rotated to make the z-axis of the coordinate system parallel to the cutting tool vector. Plane rotation codes should always be defined in the format cutting mode, plane on, and format cutting mode, plane off commands. In addition, if you are using plane rotation mode during positioning moves between operations, you should also define the related plane rotation codes inside format positioning at safe position command. Let's first look at this 5-axis post processor with FANUC controller. As you can see, G68.2 and G53.1 codes are added inside format cutting mode, plane on command. G68.2 is used for plane, or in other words, coordinate rotation in FANUC and Mazatrol controllers. G53.1 is used to dynamically move the workpiece coordinate system, G54, G55, etc., according to the active coordinate system, which is rotated with G68.2. Similarly, G69, which cancels plane rotation mode, is defined in format cutting mode, plane off command. Let's also look at format positioning at safe position command. As you can see, G68.2 and G53.1 are also defined here, since this post processor performs positioning moves in plane mode. How can you determine which cutting mode the post processor uses during positioning moves, or in other words, in the format positioning at safe position command? To identify the cutting mode used by the post processor in the format positioning at safe position command, follow these steps. Click on the Event tab while the top-level operation is active in the operation tree. Within the Event Linear Rapid Motion section, select Action Linear Motion. In the Editing tab of Action Linear Motion, you can easily adjust the active cutting mode for the format positioning at safe position command. The available options are Do Not Change Cutting Mode, TCPC, Plane, and Default. Once you have selected the desired cutting mode, you can proceed accordingly. If plane mode is chosen here, you will need to use plane codes within the format positioning at safe position command. Here in this example, the plane cutting mode is selected for this command, and therefore G68.2 and G53.1 are used inside the command. On the other hand, if the TCPC mode is selected in Action Linear Motion, you should use TCPC codes within the format positioning at safe position command instead. Let's now look at a 5-axis Heidenhain post processor. Here, plane spatial is added inside format cutting mode, plane on command. And plane reset is added inside format cutting mode, plane off command. Note that, here there is also a subcommand for format cutting mode, plane on, and it also has the plane spatial code. Plane spatial is the activation, and plane reset is the deactivation codes for plane rotation mode in Heidenhain. Keep in mind that, apart from plane spatial, there are also other plane codes like plane axial, cycle 19, etc., which are used in Heidenhain controllers for plane rotation. Let's also look at format positioning at safe position command. As you can see, plane spatial also defined here, since this post processor performs positioning moves in plane mode. Let's now look at a Siemens Cinemeric post processor. Here, cycle 800 with parameters is added inside format cutting mode, plane on command. And cycle 800 without any parameter, or in other words, empty cycle 800 expression, is added inside format cutting mode, plane off command. Cycle 800 with parameters is the activation, and cycle 800 without any parameter, is the deactivation codes for plane mode in Cinemeric. Note that, in some Siemens Cinemeric controllers, different cycle 800 statements, like the one I pasted here, can also be used to disable the plane rotation mode. Let's also look at format positioning at safe position command. Here, instead of cycle 800, Trory code is defined, since this postprocessor performs positioning moves, not in plane mode, but in TCPC mode instead.